The title of the video is the real reason 99% of people in the gym don't see results. If you have found yourself in the position where you're not making gains in the gym, then I would actually have to question whether you actually know the fundamentals of what it actually takes to build muscle in the first place. If you're having that problem, then it lets me know that you're lacking in one of the 3 major areas of muscle building, which by the end of the video, I'm going to get into all 3. You're going to know exactly what it's going to take for you to stimulate growth every single time. If I'm not building muscle, I've gotten away from these 3 main things and building blocks. I'll kind of refer to these 3 factors as the big 3. The muscle building process is almost like a chemical process. So if you're missing even one of them, the chemical process can't occur. All 3 have to be present in order to get the actual outcome that we're actually looking for. But it wasn't really until I had all this stuff sorted out in my mind was I actually able to proceed with any certainty and clarity and confidence when I came into the gym as far as the muscle building aspect goes. And it was able to take me from looking like this to looking like this within under 6 months of actually starting. I was able to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, so it definitely have had a lot of good results since I've been able to implement these 3 factors into my workouts. The 3 major factors to muscle building are stimulus, then you have the nutrition aspect, and then you have rest. The very first mistake I see people making is on the stimulus end. See, the thing that you actually have to understand is if I can go into the gym and do 10 reps easily, and I just set the weight down at 10, then you're pretty much never giving your body a reason to actually cope to anything. So simply put, people just aren't going hard enough in the gym. If your body's not changing, then you're not putting it under enough stress to change. So it's important that whenever we come in here, we are getting that progressive overload going, and that whenever we get to the point where we want to stop, that we've got to push our muscles past what it is previously capable of doing and is used to, or else you just don't give your body a reason to actually grow. That's going to be the one biggest factor, and I say biggest because if you never stimulate growth, then the nutrition aspect and the rest aspect doesn't even matter. Okay, so the stimulus is first. You can do this a number of different ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be like you're increasing weight every single time that you come into the gym, but the important thing is that you are trying to go past your previous limitations, because that is the thing that's actually going to trigger your body and say, okay, this is a stress that we haven't encountered before and that we've got to cope to. So the way that I do it is basically I've got usually about 4 to 5 different exercises that I do for any given muscle group. I do usually 2 to 3 warm-up sets in the first couple exercises. Once I'm all warmed up, then I'll start taming those down a little bit. But the whole point is in each one of those exercises, I make sure that I go to failure on each one. I'm working that muscle from different angles. Say it's chest, I do some incline, I'll do some dips, I'll do cable flies. I try to hit that muscle group from about 4 to 5 different angles, but each exercise that I do it in, I want to go to complete failure. That can be in weight, reps, or duration of exercise. So that's going to be my suggestion as far as the stimulus goes. I can get a whole lot more technical, but I'm just trying to break down fundamentals so you guys can get it clear in your head. I do have my email in the about section of my YouTube page, so if you guys have any questions about it and need further assistance, then go there, email me, or just comment something in the bottom of this video, and then we'll kind of try to work something out. But that's not the only thing that you guys could be doing wrong. You could be making this mistake too, and I'd say this one is a very, very major factor as well too, and it's the whole nutrition aspect. The only way that you can actually judge whether a workout program is successful is whether you got stronger, whether you built muscle, or if you gained weight. Because as far as nutrition goes, if you don't even have the calories there to begin with, then you can't actually judge whether the workout routine worked or not, because you didn't even give your body the proper fuel to do the repair and everything and come back in here stronger from the next time. So yes, you could have stimulated the growth, but if you don't even have the calories there to begin with, then it's null and void. That's why I keep trying to say that you have to have all 3 of these present for the muscle building aspect to actually take place. So just to kind of come up with a example, okay, it'd be almost like you've got a car that's capable of going 200 miles an hour. but you've only got a quarter tank or $5 worth of gas in the gas tank. So it's got the potential to go there, and every time it tries to get there, it runs out of fuel before it can actually complete the entire process and get into, that fifth or sixth gear. You could liken it to maybe a construction site where they have the foundation laid out and they've got the plans and everything else, but you just hand them basically a few 2x4s and say, all right, guys, build a house. Wait a second, like, we're not going to be able to complete this without the actual correct building materials. You're basically short-circuiting the growth process every single time if you actually don't have the nutrition there. I would suggest going into at least a 300 to 500 calorie surplus above your maintenance range, so you're not actually short-circuiting or frustrating the growth mechanism whenever you have kicked it into gear. And if you can maintain a calorie surplus and you are stimulating the growth, then there's no way but to have all those building blocks go right to the muscle and put the bump on the muscle. And then the third biggest factor in all of this is going to be the rest factor. So most people have this completely backward. Whenever you go into the gym, you're not actually growing whenever you're in the gym. You just basically kick the growth mechanism into gear with the stimulus, and the place that you grow is at home with the proper rest and nutrition. Whenever we stimulate the growth, it literally breaks down the muscle, and you're going to have 2 or 3 or however many days it's going to take to actually repair that, and you need nutrition and rest to actually get the proper repair process underway and finished before you come back into the gym. And this is one aspect that I had really mixed up for a long time. You'd think like, well, the more I go to the gym, then the bigger I'll get. But that is actually kind of a fallacy, because all you do eventually is just start tearing down your body and tearing down the muscular structure, and your chemical resources just cannot keep up with the sort of stimulus that you're putting your body under. So a lot of people will go at first to the gym and they're trying to get big all in one time, rather than just realizing that this is just going to be a time thing. My body has to work under certain parameters and time frames, and I've just got to work it at my body's pace rather than at the pace that I would like to go. The thing is that overtraining is actually the very thing that will keep you from growing, because every time you get into the point where you're still sore but you're going back to the gym, well, the thing is, if you're still sore, then your body hasn't actually completed that repair process. So if you're coming back into the gym too frequently, then you're short-circuiting your growth. Everybody's going to be a little bit different as far as their recovery ability is concerned, but what I would suggest, especially for kind of a newer beginner or kind of intermediate, is 3 to 4 days a week. And I would suggest 1 day on, 1 day off. You'll kind of listen to your body and the feedback that it's giving you. If you're still sore, well, don't come in and work that muscle group again. It hasn't actually repaired itself from the last time. My current way that I do it is 2 on and 1 off. It's going to be kind of different for everybody. Their muscles might repair a little bit faster. There's a lot of other different factors in it too, but at the basic fundamental level, we're going to have stimulus, nutrition, and then rest. This is the freebie that I was going to give all you guys, which if I'm coming in here and I'm doing something, say, once a week or twice a week, or, it's going to be 5 or 6 days before I can get in here and get a good workout again too, you got to ask yourself, are you being consistent? Because consistency is what's going to win the game. Me coming in here and going balls to the wall for 3 weeks and then not doing anything else for a month and a half, that's not going to be enough to cut it. If you could do 3 days a week for the next year, you're going to see progress as long as you've been doing, you got the rest and nutrition and the right stimulus in there. That being said, if you guys can nail down those 3 aspects that I talked about right there, it's not an if I see muscle growth, it's just a win, and it's just a matter of time. Okay, this isn't mystical, it's not magical. If you're not able to see muscle growth, then it's because you're violating one of those 3 principles right there. If you guys enjoyed this video, then you'll like this other video as well too. It's about the differences in between training naturally and enhanced, and it actually goes into a little bit more of the recovery process and the rest process that our bodies actually demand from us. That being said, I appreciate you guys following along, and go check out this video.